Hello, I welcome to UPSC Prelims Chaturya series of Shantha Lakshmi IAS Academy, where we will discuss the daily prelims MCQs from the Hindu, Indian Express and PIB. Let's get started. The first question. Consider the following statements with respect to the Combined Maritime Forces. It is a multinational naval partnership which exists to promote security, stability, and prosperity across international waters. CMF is commanded by a US Navy Vice Admiral. CMF has 28 member nations, including India, Japan, South Korea, and others. How many of the statement given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none of the above. This was in news recently. INS Talwar of the Indian Navy seized 940 kg of drugs in the Arabian Sea as a part of an operation led by the Combined Maritime Forces. About this, it is a multinational naval partnership based in Bahrain which exists to promote security, stability, and prosperity across approximately 3.2 million square miles of international waters, which encompasses some of the world's most important shipping lanes. CMF main focus areas are defeating terrorism, preventing piracy, encouraging regional cooperation, and promoting a safe maritime environment. CMF counters violent extremism and terrorist networks in maritime areas of responsibility, works with regional and other partners to improve overall security and stability, helps strengthen regional nations' maritime capabilities, and when requested, responds to environmental and humanitarian crises. It is comprised of 5 task forces. Member nations. CMF consists of 38 member nations, including Australia, Bahrain, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Colombia, Denmark, etc. Participation is purely voluntary. No nation is asked to carry out any duty that is unwilling to conduct. The member nations are not bound by either a political or a military mandate. CMF is a flexible organization. Contributions can vary from the provision of a liaison officer at CMF headquarters in Bahrain to the supply of warships or support vessels in task forces and maritime reconnaissance effort based on land. It can also call on warships not explicitly assigned to CMF to give associated support, which is assistance they can offer if they have the time and capacity to do so whilst undertaking national tasking. Headquarters are co-located with US Naval Central Command and US Navy 5th Fleet at Naval Support Activity Bahrain. Command CMF is commanded by a US Navy Vice Admiral who also serves as a commander of the US Naval Forces Central Command and US Navy 5th Fleet. CMF's deputy commander is a United Kingdom Royal Navy Commodore. Other senior staff roles of CMF headquarters are filled by personnel from member nations. So the answer is only 2 because CMF has 38 member nations, not 28 member nations. Moving to the next question. Recently, which state is leading in implementing the Green Credit Program with over 500 land parcels for tree plantations? Option A, Maharashtra. Option B, Uttar Pradesh. Option C, Madhya Pradesh. Option D, Bihar. Madhya Pradesh is leading in implementing the Green Credit Program with 500 plus approved land parcels for tree plantation across 10 states in 2 months. 10,000 hectares of land are embarked. Madhya Pradesh has highest approved degraded forest land, followed by Telangana, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, and Assam. Public sector undertakings will carry out plantation to earn green credits. The program focuses on ecosystem services, promoting non-carbon environmental actions, benefiting local soil, water, and ecosystems. So the answer is option C, Madhya Pradesh. Moving to the next question. Choose correct one with respect to the Athletics Federation of India. It is a governmental and profitable autonomous body. The AFI came into existence in 1946 and the federation organizes the national championship, trains the Indian athletics national compares, selects the Indian athletics teams. Which of the statement given above is correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one or two. In the first, the Athletic Federation of India have disaffiliated 16 district associations across the country for failing to send teams for the National Inter-District Junior Athletics meet held recently. About this federation, it is the top governing body responsible for overseeing athletics in India. It is a non-governmental and non-profitable autonomous body. It is affiliated to the World Athletics, the Asian Athletics Association, and the Indian Olympic Association. It was formerly called the Amateur Athletic Federation of India. The AFI has 32 affiliated state units and institutional units. The AFI came into existence in 1946 and the federation organizes the national championship, trains the Indian athletic national compare, selects the Indian nation athletics teams for various international competitions including Olympics, Asian Games, CWG, World Championships, Asian Championship and other international meets, conducts the national championship for various age categories. Besides, the AFI conducts international and national championship and various meets to promote the sport, popularize it amongst the masses, and make athletics commercially attractive for the further growth of the athlete and the sport. The federation also supervises and assists its state units in their activities, plans and sets up special coaching camps, coaches, training, and takes initiatives for development program and grassroots promotion of athletics in India. So the answer is 2 only because it is a non-governmental and non-profitable autonomous body, not government and profitable autonomous body. Moving to the next question. Consider the following statements about UN Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. It is an advisory body that reports to the UN's Economic and Social Council. Its Amazon Protection Initiative urges to protect 90% of Amazon and its life by 2025. Target 3 of this framework proposes that 30% of the land, water, and the earth is protected by 2030. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none of the above. The 23rd session of UN Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues in New York highlights slow progress in protecting indigenous territories, crucial for meeting biodiversity targets. It is an outcome of the UN International Year for the World's Indigenous People in 1993, within the first international decade of the world's indigenous people. It is an advisory body within the framework of the United Nations system that reports to UN's Economic and Social Council to deal with indigenous issues related to economic and social development, culture, the environment, education, health, and human rights. Members, it is composed of 16 independent experts functioning in their personal capacity. Tenure appointed for a 3-year term. At the end of their term, they can be re-elected or reappointed for one additional term. The first meeting of the Permanent Forum was held in 2002 with yearly session thereafter. Theme: Enhancing Indigenous People Right to Self-Determination in the context of United Nations Declaration on Rights of Indigenous People, emphasizing the voices of indigenous youth. Indigenous territories, it covers 22% of land and home to 80% of remaining biodiversity. These areas are vital but receives less than 1% of climate finance. Amazon for protection. The Amazonia for Life protects 80% of by 2025 initiative urges for rapid action to prevent ecological tipping points in the Amazon. Target 3 of this framework proposes that 30% of land and water on earth is protected by 2030. So the answer is only 2. Because Amazon Protection Initiative urges to protect 80% of Amazon and its life by 2025, not 90%. Moving to the next question. With reference to the kerosene, consider the following statement. The primary source of hydrocarbons in the rocky underground is called kerosene. Kerogen represents about 100% of the organic carbon in sediments. Which of the statement given above are correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one or two. The primary source of hydrocarbons in the rocky underground is called kerogen, lumps of organic matter. About these kerogens, kerogen is the portion of naturally occurring organic matter that is non-extractable using organic solvents, that is, it is insoluble in solvents. Kerogen represents about 90% of the organic carbons in sediments. It occurs in source rock and may expel hydrocarbons upon thermal cracking. Typical organic constituents of kerogen are algae and woody plant material. It consists of lighter as well as heavier hydrocarbons and acts like precursor of oil and natural gas. Kerogens have a high molecular weight relative to bitumen or soluble organic matter. Bitumen forms from kerogen during petroleum generation. Kerogens are described as a type 1 consisting of mainly algal and amorphous kerogen and highly like to generate oil. Type 2 mixed terrestrial and marine source material that can generate waxy oil. And type 3 woody terrestrial source material that typically generate gas. The types of kerogen present in rock largely control the type of hydrocarbon generated in that rock. Different types of kerogen contain different amounts of hydrogen relative to carbon and oxygen. The hydrogen content of kerogen is controlling factor for oil versus gas yields from primary hydrocarbon generating reaction. So the answer is one only, because kerogens represent 90% of organic carbons in sediments, not 100%. Thank you. This is the today's session.